Good morning. I'm Erin Falo, and this is News 9 Plus on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And here are the stories we're following for you throughout the day. Right now, a number of volunteers from New Hampshire are in the Gulf Coast, ready to help in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. The storm weakened to a tropical storm this morning. Concord's Fire Chief Sean Brown is one of 6 Granite Staters assisting with search and rescue efforts. He is part of the Massachusetts Urban Search and Rescue Task Force. A group of 20 volunteers from a Merrimack Restoration Company is also in Louisiana helping to clean up and rebuild.
Heavy events like this, the toll can be long term, and so to be able to do whatever we can to help someone's life get back to better, it's rewarding. That's why we have a line of people that have their hands up saying, yeah, send me, send me, send me.
The New Hampshire crews are expected to be in Louisiana for about a week, but could stay longer if needed. Eversource is also sending crews to Louisiana to help with the relief efforts. A spokesman says that they're sending about 40 line crews from New Hampshire, as well as support staff, supervisors, and managers from Massachusetts and Connecticut. The remains of all 13 service members killed in the suicide bombing in Kabul last week are back on American soil this morning, including a Marine from Lawrence, Mass. The flag-draped remains of 25-year-old Sergeant Yoani Rosario was carried off a plane at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware yesterday afternoon. President and First Lady Biden attended this transfer. They were the first U.S. troops killed in hostile action in Afghanistan since February of 2020. Here in New Hampshire, several businesses are paying tribute to the fallen service members. Bipa and Lua's in Peterborough set aside a table and 13 beers over the weekend, one for each service member killed. Copper Pig Brewery in Lancaster set up a similar table outside along the river with a drink for each hero. And the Little Grill in Littleton had a memorial inside their restaurant, thanking them for making the ultimate sacrifice. A Goffstown man is facing charges in connection with a shooting. Police say 22-year-old Jeremiah Neighbors shot a woman yesterday on Mountain Ash Lane. No word on the victim's condition. Neighbors is scheduled to be arraigned today on charges including second-degree assault. Bethlehem police are investigating a deadly motorcycle crash which happened yesterday afternoon on Route 116. Police say the passenger, Jacqueline George of Jefferson, died at the scene. The operator, Michael George, was taken to the hospital where he later died. Another deadly crash is under investigation in East Kingston this morning. Police say 33-year-old Jason Shurin was driving on Giles Road yesterday when he failed to negotiate a corner and crashed into some trees. Shurin was pronounced dead on the scene. A child who was also in that SUV suffered serious injuries but is expected to survive. Police say that speed was likely a factor. A plea hearing scheduled for today, excuse me. In a high-profile murder case, Brittany Barron is accused of falsifying and destroying evidence in the death of 25-year-old Jonathan Amaro of Keene. Back in September of 2020, her husband allegedly shot and killed Emerald after he found out that they were having an affair. The defense has said the Barron's situation fits the classic definition of a victim of domestic violence, but prosecutors say that she could have gone for help. Today marks 6 years since Denise Robert was shot and killed in Manchester's North End. The crime remains unsolved. There were no witnesses, but people in the neighborhood told police that they heard a single gunshot and possibly saw a red pickup truck leaving the area. If you have any information, you're urged to contact police or the Attorney General's office. Today is the start of classes at the University of New Hampshire for the fall semester. First-year students moved into their dorm rooms in Durham on Friday. People lined up at the Whittemore Center to get tested for COVID and to pick up self-testing kits. The school will test unvaccinated students every week and vaccinated students every 2 weeks.
We know from last year that in the fall and in the spring that we spike around the second week of school. And so the testing will help us see what that spike, if it happens at all, is, and we can plan ahead with that.
Classes also begin today at Plymouth State, and this is a live look at Plymouth right now. That school will test unvaccinated students every week. And we do want to get a check on your forecast right now. And Kevin, we are seeing clouds around the state.
Yeah, warm and a humid day on the way for us, what you would expect for late August. Eventually, though, cooler, drier air will be filtering in, but it will take a front coming through before we get there. A couple of thunder showers for the North Country this morning. Front itself is back through western parts of New York, and that will arrive later this afternoon. Somewhere between 2 and 8 o'clock from north to south, we'll have a broken line of some showers and storms. Any storms that develop could have some brief heavy rainfall or gusty winds with them, 78 to 85 this afternoon. Now, really, the window ends by 7 or 8 o'clock tonight as the front dives through and some drier air starts to feed in overnight tonight. Temperatures will drop back into the 50s to mid 60s. And for tomorrow, less humid conditions, partial sunshine. Clouds will gradually build in on Wednesday, and the remnants of Ida passing to our south through the mid-Atlantic states will have the possibility on the northern reaches of it to give us a quick inch or two of rainfall, depending on exactly how close it is. It would wrap up by, let's say, noontime Thursday. Drier air would feed in out of the north on Friday and would set up a very comfortable start to the holiday weekend. So top winds now down to 45 miles an hour as Ida continues to move away from the Gulf Coast itself and continue to rain itself out inland. The main window for us would be late Wednesday, early Thursday, and then behind that, very comfortable with temperatures in the low and mid 70s and lows in the 50s to start the holiday weekend.
All right, looking like a great start to the holiday weekend. Kevin, thank you, and thank you for joining us for News 9 Plus on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Have a great day.